Hello and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be covering evolution. We've talked about this before, but today we're really going to be focusing on why. Why is it important? Now, evolution is a really interesting topic, but you may be wondering why you have to learn this. What significance does it offer for us? Well, evolution and learning about evolution holds the answers to how we as humans are here today. How did we end up on Earth? Were we always able to walk? Did we look like this 1,000 years ago? Maybe thousands and thousands of years ago? Evolution answers our questions about our history and our ancestry. Understanding evolution can help us become more intellectually developed as human beings, but looking to the past for answers can also help us make theories about the future. Now, I think that is very cool to question how we got here today. And understanding evolution will help us solve biological problems that impact our lives and the lives of our future. So stay tuned, and we are going to do a quick rundown of evolution today. Evolution. All right, so let's dive right in with Charles Darwin, who is our famous person in this video. So Charles Darwin said that the Earth was very old and that ancestors will evolve into current species with few variations in traits. Now, he said that populations will produce more offspring than an environment can support, and therefore, certain traits will be key to survival, and that populations will evolve to have these certain traits. He also published a widely famous book known as The Origin of Species, which is how it looks like over there, and it discussed two widely popular theories, one being descent with modification and natural selection. And in today's video, we will discuss natural selection. All right, natural selection has three main points or concepts. First of all, it's not individuals who evolve, but rather it's entire populations that evolve over time. Secondly, natural selection may amplify or strengthen certain traits or even weaken certain traits. However, these acquired traits can't be just passed down, if that makes sense. And finally, evolution is not goal-oriented. And what that means is there isn't like a certain end result that we want, and that evolution is the process to it. It happens very gradually. All right, and a couple examples of natural selection is camouflage. Now, you might know about this, and one example of this is this little chameleon over here, and he completely blends into his surroundings because he has evolved to have this certain trait right there. And natural selection is almost like an editing process, nature's editing process. Now, how do we know that evolution existed? What are the evidences for evolution? Well, there are a couple different ways we know about this. First off, we have something called the fossil record. You've probably heard about this, but fossils they appear within sedimentary rock, and organisms evolved in historical sequences. And just in case, a quick recap on what a fossil is, it is let us write this definition down because it's important. A fossil is the preserved remains of once preserved remains of once living things, of living organisms slash things. Let's just do things. Once living things. And then secondly, we have another practice for evidence of evolution, which is known as comparative anatomy. Now, this is exactly what it sounds like. We compare the anatomy of different organisms. So this specifically means comparison of bone structures, and there are two types of this. Homologous structures, which means that they have different functions, but they are structurally very similar. And then the other one is analogous structures, which have similar function, but no common ancestry. For example, notice how that there are very similar structures in the cat, the whale, and the bat, as well as the human. Quite interesting. And then third type is comparative embryology. Again, it is exactly what it sounds like as we compare the embryos. So this is a comparison of early age development, and it reveals homologies that are not visible in adult organisms. For example, notice that in the early ages, all of these organisms, a fish, salamander, tortoise, chick, rabbit, and even humans, are very similar at some point. Like, take a look here, the same shapes, same structures. Now, there's another important definition that you should know, which is vestigial structures, and these are remnants of features that were present in the past but are not now. For example, at one point, man had a tail in the very early beginnings, but eventually we lose that tail, so no tail now. All right, and the final way of finding out how evolution existed is molecular biology. And this reveals evolutionary relationships by comparing DNA as well as the amino acid sequence. And this type of evidence finding, I guess, is based on three central principles. One, all life forms are related. Secondly, all life has DNA. And third, humans and bacteria share genes from a distant ancestor. That's pretty insane if you ask me. And that is all on today's video on evolution. This will be the first part in many to come. So stay tuned. Bye-bye.